This video is going to show the installation and operation of a Sto-Away Power Crane Model SR5T on a Ford F150. Today we are taking this elegant pickup truck and transforming it into a serious work truck without altering its classic appearance, hindering the use of the tailgate, or changing the truck's handling and towing capacity. We begin by removing the trailer hitch and uncoupling the Ford trailer plug from the factory wiring harness. We start by removing the factory rear bumper and hitch from the truck, removing all but two of the nuts holding the bumper to the truck until the bumper can be safely supported. No one should be lying directly beneath the bumper, as the last two remaining nuts are removed. Ford F150 is the only pickup truck model that requires a minor alteration during installation. We are showing the location of the truck's mounting flange that needs to be trimmed to allow room for the winch motor. We begin by installing the driver's side bracket and leave the hardware finger tight. Next, we install the passenger side bracket and again leave the hardware finger tight. The area is marked that needs to be trimmed. Remove the bracket and prepare the area. A power saw with a metal cutting blade can be used to remove the material from the edge of the flange, but we have chosen to use a plasma cutter. When using a plasma cutter on today's trucks, it is extremely important that you have a solid electrical ground that is directly on the component that is being cut, so as not to damage any of the intricate electrical components. There is a complete industry built around modifying trucks. Truck manufacturers do allow cutting, welding, and modifying their truck chassis, as long as you follow their published guidelines. Ford guidelines can be found on the Ford Bodybuilder's website. View this website for a complete list of service bulletins. Our mounting brackets are designed to duplicate both the bumper attachment and towing hitch configuration. The day may come that you wish to reinstall the original bumper. We are taking steps to modify only one of the factory license plate sockets. We are sealing it so it can be reused. We are removing the light socket so we can power the license plate lighting on the bumper crane. We are trimming back the insulation on wires and installing two heat shrinkable butt connectors. We are now ready to install the Sto-Away Power Crane. Please note that the bottom panels do not need to be removed for the installation. A better view of this can be seen on our F450 installation video. We simply align the four studs through the top slots found on the mounting bracket. Install the supplied flat washers and lock nuts to the four studs and finger tighten the nuts. During installation, the four bottom bolts may fall back into the bumper crane. With the four top studs secure, we will be able to open the bumper and reinstall the bottom bolts. With all the nuts and bolts in place, we tighten all the mounting hardware that attach the bumper brackets to the truck's frame and continue tightening the remaining bolts on the bumper crane. To install the factory towing harness, we need to loosen the WR kit panel to allow room for inserting the wire harness. With the harness installed, re-secure the WR kit panel. A quick note, all Sto-Away bumper cranes have as a standard feature this universal trailer wiring harness port. We will be using a Ford adapter plate for this bumper crane, but if we decide to transfer this to a Chevy or Dodge truck at a later date, all we need to do is request an adapter plate for that model truck. It's just that simple. It is very important to check for proper polarity before making the final connection. Simply place the two wires from the bumper crane into the butt connectors and turn on the truck's headlights, noting if the bumper crane's marker lights are illuminated. If the lights are not on, then switch the polarity of the wires and recheck. Now that we are sure the polarity is correct, we'll make the final crimp and use a heat gun and shrink the insulating skin on the connectors. This will seal moisture out. Now check out these LED marker lights. Aren't they a touch of class? Now we're ready to put the bumper crane away. Check out the feather light option at work. See how safely and easily the crane just floats down. That's a Sto-Away exclusive. We are the only bumper crane that floats down. There are two tasks that work best with two people. One is placing a protective loom over the power leads, and the second is routing the wiring along the truck frame. What is extremely important about the wiring route is that the leads must never come in contact with moving suspension parts, hot exhaust pipes, or get attached to fuel and/or brake lines. Just take your time and plan out your actions before you start. Here's a little trick. Use a piece of TIG welding wire and put a hook at one end. Place the TIG wire down through the engine compartment where you want to pull the wire through. Place the wires on the end of the hook and fish the power leads up into the engine compartment. Once the wires are in place, we secure them using a nylon wire tie. We like a clean installation, so we prefer to trim off the excess wire. But before we cut the power leads, it's best to mark which wire is positive and which is negative. The wire with red electrical tape marking its end is the positive lead, and the white-tipped wire is the negative lead. We remark the power leads again with red and white tape, so that we don't have a senior moment after cutting off the excess wire. We crimp new connectors on the wires and color code the ends again. Then place a set of circuit breakers on the red lead. And since the circuit breakers are going to attach to the truck's positive battery lead, we prefer that a layer of electrical tape cover the exposed surfaces on the circuit breakers before attaching them to the truck's battery. It is very important to connect directly to the truck's battery and not to a secondary location or use the truck's frame as an electrical ground. By connecting directly to the truck's battery, you are isolating the power requirements of the bumper crane from the truck's electrical circuit. Take your time, plan your actions, and you'll always have a job well done. Now for the system check. Set up your crane and turn on the power switch located inside the bumper on top of the solenoid box. You should note that the power indication light is illuminated on the corner of the bumper. Press and briefly hold the black push button on the emergency stop. The red indicator light should turn off. To reset the breaker, simply press down the button found on the top of the solenoid box. The red indicator light at the corner of the bumper should be re-illuminated. Great job! The installation is complete. To use the Sto-Away Power Crane is easy. You simply open up the crane's top lid, grab the top of the crane's mast, and walk it up into an upright position. With the Sto-Away Featherlight option installed, you notice that the crane almost sets itself. Next, you reach for the mast lock pin and insert the pin completely through the bumper and the crane's mast. With the crane mast secure and in an upright position, you will need to release the 1/4-inch boom lock pin from the support arm and raise the crane's boom to the desired elevation. Then reinsert the boom lock pin through the support arm. Twisting off the dust cover from the control plug, we insert the hand pendant. This is an optional rubber hand control. Push the toggle switch to the on position. Close the lid of the bumper. Keep tension on the cable and press the switch in the direction you want. The crane rotates on a set of sealed needle and roller bearings, so moving your payload will be just this easy. We call this feature our Posi Lock and will keep the crane in place. The Sto-Away Power Crane is designed so that you have complete use of your truck's tailgate. See how easy it is for one person? Once your work is done, you simply close the tailgate and open the cover lid. Lower the boom, making sure your 1/4-inch boom lock pin is secure. Turn the power off and put your hand control away. Then fold away the crane. See how easy our Featherlight feature allows your crane to safely float down? Secure the cover lid and you're done. It's just that easy. Getting into the rear of this 4-wheel drive truck is a snap with our optional folding aluminum step. Now with your Sto-Away Power Crane, you've just taken the work out of work. It's time to go home. Sto-Away Power Crane is a sensible way to turn your truck into a valuable asset. By allowing you to retain your classy appearance, you still have full use of your tailgate and full functionality of your truck's towing capacity.